Hey, this is Richard. Yeah, I'm back on the road again. Oh, I gotta stop making fun of Russ. I like Russ. You know, I like to, there's only a couple other YouTube channels that I like to watch, and Russ is Right is one of them. So if you're not a subscriber of Russ is Right, you need to go check him out. He's got a good channel over there. And that's how he starts all his videos, because most all his videos are riding videos. Point of view, meaning, you know, you get the point of view that he gets. And so anyway, yeah, so I just took Toby for a ride, and it was quite eventful, so I'm going to be posting that video. Just a short one, though. But after we were done with his morning ride, I said, you know what? I got to get out there. So guess what I'm riding? Yeah, it's the Magicycle Deer. The Deer Mini, I should say. So, yeah, what a fun bike. So I'll probably post this video, riding video. I might do one or two more, I'm not sure, before I actually do the review. But I can tell you now, the review is going to be positive, unless something terribly goes wrong. Because this is just such a fun ride. A lot of good things about this bike. So I've got quite a few videos actually that I need to get out soon. A lot of things kind of happened all at once there. So I got the trike, the Emojo Bison Pro. So we got that one, and it wasn't but just a couple of days later that, you know, we got the Zora bike, Felix, which is a dual suspension bike, and then the Magicycle Deer Mini all on the same day. So yeah, it's been kind of busy, you know, just getting the bikes put together, doing those unboxing videos, and then learning about the bikes, ride them a little bit, and trying to learn about them. So I've got to, I've still got to get the Bison Pro full review video out, which we're ready to do that now. I've ridden it enough. I'm ready to do that. And then I've got to get the Zora bike Felix, or the Zora Felix. I got to get it out and do some more riding with it, because I've only ridden it just a little bit. So I need to do another longer ride or two with it to get familiar, and then do that review video. But you know, unfortunately, because I got the Deer Mini at the same time, yeah, this is the one I've been really wanting. So yeah, my attention is, you know, a little biased. Maybe I'm focused on this one just a little bit. So this is actually my first ride with the Deer Mini outside our neighborhood, because I've been just mostly going around. It's about a one mile loop around our neighborhood, and I've been doing that. But this will be the first time I actually get it out and take it a little bit of a distance. So yesterday we had a family day, so I had both daughters and son-in-law Devin come home, and we spent some time together, and we had a chance to go riding together. And we all kind of swapped bikes, because, you know, the Bison is new, and the Zora bike is new, and of course the Magicycle is new, and they all wanted to ride them. So we took those out, and we also took the Hay Bike Ranger S with the Toby trailer. So we took Toby with us, and so the four of us just went out riding around the neighborhood, and we did that for quite a while. And then we kept swapping bikes and getting different opinions of what they liked, what they didn't like. And of course, everyone really likes the Magicycle Deer. Everyone was like, wow, you know, this is just an awesome bike. You know, they like how it feels. They like the fact that it's, you know, it's just so powerful. So, you know, the Magicycle Deer is a hit amongst the family members for sure. Now, it's an interesting thing. The Zora bike, the Zora Felix, is, you know, it's a different bike, but yet it has some similarities to the Deer. The Zora bike is a dual suspension bike. Okay, so it's got that going for it, and it's a 20-inch tire, fat tire, and so some of the components are similar. So they were riding that one, and they really liked that one a lot too. So Amanda recently gave her the Mach Wheel Scoria, because that's the bike she always liked to ride when she was out. And so she was riding that, and she started saying, you know, I kind of like this one a little bit better, talking about the Zora Felix. She said, I really like this one. And so, you know, she was contemplating whether maybe just trading the Scoria back and taking the Felix. And then Emma was talking about the same thing. She said, yeah, she said, you know, I really like this. She said, it's comfortable. She said, I can handle this bike. And she said, it's very comfortable. And so both of them were like, you know, maybe we should trade up. And that's a deal I made with them. I made them a deal that, you know, as long as I keep getting bikes in like this, if ever I have something that they like a little bit better, you know, they can always trade up, as long as they take care of the one that they do have, so that, you know, I can do something with it and, you know, sell it and try to make a little income off of it, you know, for all my time and effort. You know, as long as they do that, I'm happy to let them trade up. So they're both actually thinking about that. And but then in the end, you know, and Emma, I didn't mention, Emma has the Truxus Lynx right now, so that's the one that she currently has. But in the end, they both decided to keep what they have, and here's why. So Amanda decided it would be best to go ahead and keep the Scoria. One, sentimental value a little bit, because that's the one she's always ridden when she started riding with me. But it also has the big battery, so it's got a 20 amp battery, whereas the Felix only has, I don't remember, 14 or 15 amp battery, so it's quite a bit smaller. And ultimately that was Emma's choice too, because Devin, her husband Devin, has the Zora Zephyr, which is a great bike, and it's got a 17.5 amp hour battery. And she didn't want to go down to like a 14 amp hour battery and just not have the range. She wants to have something that she can have the range to go riding with him. So ultimately they both decided to do that. They keep what they have for now. So even though they both really liked the Felix, they like how it handles, because it's a smooth bike. It really is. And for the price point, that's what's crazy about it. Oh, I think they have it listed for, what was it? Like around $1,500 or something. And then they have it on sale for like $1,150. But here's the thing about a lot of these companies that have these sale prices, and I'm going to make a separate video soon talking about this. But there are companies that have their bikes on, they're always on sale. It's a permanent sale basically, and so the original price is really not the price. It's whatever they're trying to advertise as a sale price is their regular everyday price. And I'm not real familiar with Zora bike. I haven't been working with them that long, so I haven't been able to tell if that's what they're doing, but I believe that's what they're doing. So either way, you know, if they're selling that bike, going to continue selling it for, you know, $1,150, being a dual suspension bike, even though it's only got a 500 watt motor, that 500 watt motor, it zips. And I'll be honest with you, I don't notice a difference. I really don't notice a difference riding that bike versus a 750 watt motorbike. So they got a good product there, I think. And, you know, there's been a couple people chime in already on the unboxing video and say, well, you know, there's other things out there that are better. And there might be. Heck, there's always going to be something a little bit better somewhere if you can find it. You know, there's probably an estimated 300 e-bike companies, and a lot of these bikes are, you know, they're made in the same factory or same couple of factories, and so they're all very similar. And so yeah, you'll always find something that's similar and maybe a little better price, but for what it is, yeah, that Zora bike, the Zora Felix, it's a good price for what it is. It's a really good deal, in my opinion. So I'm excited to ride it some more and get a review video out on that one, because that's one I'm happy to share with you. So let's see. So anyway, we had a good time yesterday, and everybody swapping out bikes and riding, and yeah, good times. So we had a little bit of a concern with the Bison Pro. That's the trike, and I'll share that with you. It'll come out in the full review video too. But when we first got it, we noticed the, pedal assist 1 was like, I don't know, like 12 miles an hour or something. Pretty fast for just starting out on a trike. And then it went up from there, and pedal assist 5 was up to the 20 miles an hour, which is the maximum for that bike. So I was able to get in, and initially I didn't think we could change the pedal assist settings at all. I just couldn't find it, but I reached out to the company, and we can. And they sent me the instructions on how to get in there to adjust that. So we adjusted that. And so now pedal assist 1 is, I don't know, I think I have it set for like 5 miles an hour or something. And then 2 is like 8, and it goes from there. Just so that you have, we've been here before, and this was all under construction. And they still haven't fixed it. So I think we'll just go back out and ride on the road again like we did last time. So anyway, we're happy that we were able to go in and adjust the pedal assist, because even the company admits that they, most of their customers buying the Bison or their trikes are seniors, and that's great, but they need to be able to adjust those pedal assist settings, because it's just it's just too fast. So another problem we had that I was really bummed out about initially when we first got it, and that was the torque. The torque is pretty low on that bike. For being such a large, heavy bike, I was really disappointed about that. Really bummed out. And our driveway, you've seen it, it doesn't show up too well on camera. We've got just a slight incline, nothing bad at all. But at the end of the driveway, you've got the little dip where it goes into the road, so it creates a little bit of a dip, keeps the rainwater flowing down the street. So when you're on a trike, you have to hit those things kind of straight on, otherwise it wobbles a lot when you're going at an angle. And also we just take it really slow. So I slow down and kind of just ease up over that little bit of a bump. But then there wasn't enough torque to get me up the slight incline. And so I had to give it a little pedaling to get it up the driveway. So kind of bummed out about that, because my wife, she's not able to pedal a lot. And so we needed something that she could just do throttle only. And so, kind of bummed. So I reached out to the company, and so this is interesting. So even before I bought the bike, I asked them what the torque rating was, because that's one of the things I'm always interested in. And I was dealing with the marketing person at the time. Even though they don't sponsor my channel, they don't sponsor the video, I didn't get any discounts. I was dealing with the marketing person. Somehow I ended up with her. And I asked her what the torque rating was, and she said she didn't know. She'd find out. And it was the next day she sent me, happily told me, yeah, hey, here it is. I found it out. Here's what it is. And she gave me this string of numbers with a decimal point right up there at the beginning. And it was like, no, this isn't a torque rating. This is something else. So I was a little concerned, because she didn't know what a torque rating was, and that's okay. That's a marketing person. She doesn't know the technical details. So I reached out to customer support, just used the regular support email address, and asked them. And initially, the answer I got back was, we don't know. So then I started really getting concerned that, here's a company, they designed a bike, but they don't know the specifications of their bike, and that was aggravating me a little bit. So I reached out to Bafang, because it's a Bafang motor. And on their website, they have a list of motors. And the battery key down here is flopping in the wind, and it's ticking. I need to take that out. So they have a list of motors with all the specifications on it on their website, and so I was looking, but I couldn't find that model number. So I sent them an email asking. Never heard back from them, which is kind of typical. So we went ahead and purchased the bike anyway, because it was everything that we wanted. So we were just hopeful. I thought, it can't be that bad. It'll be fine. And it turns out it was, because I couldn't even get up the driveway. So long story short, long story long, I did reach back out to him again and said, look, This is kind of ridiculous. You can't tell me what the torque rating is. And, I reached out to Bafang and they never responded, but the torque rating on this bike is pretty low, and I'm really disappointed with it. And I got somebody new that responded to my customer service message, and he said, "Hey Richard, no worries. The motor is capable of 80 Newton meters." So he said, yeah, the bike is capable of 80 Newton meters, but we have it set for 65 just because most of our customers are seniors. So he said, what we do is, if anyone who needs or wants more torque, we'll send them out a new controller, and you just have to swap out the controller and get the full power of the bike. And I said, well, that's awesome. So then I asked them what that was going to cost, and they said nothing. They said that's just something they do. So they're sending a new controller, and I'll get that and get it installed and get the full power out of the bike. We can still control the speed, which is great. So it really kind of cleared up two concerns that we had. And that's not something they advertise on their website, and I think that's kind of a, that's a, in my opinion, that's a big marketing nugget that they could use to let people know. So, but either way, I'm excited that we got that cleared up, and we'll be getting that controller hopefully into this coming week. Let's see, what else? So something I just noticed about the Magicycle Deer that I don't care for too much, and that is, I noticed that they have the faux leather grips on here, and they're okay. It's they're a little wider, so they fit your hand pretty good in your palm, but they're not rubbery, and so they could have done better with that. But more importantly, since I've been riding this bike for just a couple of miles this morning, I noticed this one slips. I can turn it, so it doesn't have a lock. You can't lock it down. And for a $2,500 bike, shame on them for not putting on, a decent pair of grips that lock down. So these handle grips will probably get swapped out for something that I can lock. So here's something else I'll share with you, and I'm going to make a video on this too. It'll be a shorter video, but I'll just go ahead and share some of the information with you here, and that is they advertise this bike as an SUV, okay, and I've started to see that now. They're e-bikes, but they're also, some of them advertise them as an e-bike SUV, and I've seen some advertising just an e-SUV. And so I thought, well, what the heck is this? So I kind of dove into it. And so what it is, they're starting to market bikes, or they're building bikes that are versatile, just like the SUVs when they first hit the market. And I think like the Ford Explorer was one of the early ones, and I'm sure they had some before that too, but it really started getting adapted when Ford Explorer came out with them, and that was like in the early 90s, because I remember seeing my first one. I was at my first military assignment, and I saw one there, and it was like, pretty cool. What's an SUV? Sport utility vehicle. So when I started seeing e-bikes that are labeled as SUVs, it kind of intriguing a little bit, and so I did some digging around just to see, what their definition is and why they're calling them SUVs. And the answer is, when they build a bike that is designed for you know, just out on the streets like we're doing here, and for off-road. And they have the biggest difference is having the dual suspension. Now they're starting to label them as SUVs. So, you know, a lot of manufacturers sell bikes that they call them all-terrain or all-purpose, and you know, they're basically just like all the other bikes. I mean, they will definitely be a fat tire bike, but they're, you know, got some nice knobby grips on them or something, and they just refer to them as an all-terrain bike, and which is fine. I mean, that works well. But new to the market now, they're marketing SUVs because they have the dual suspension, and that's pretty cool. And I tell you, the dual suspension is pretty nice. I mean, yeah, I still feel it. You know, I still feel the bump. I'm still riding on the stock seat too, but you know, it does absorb quite a bit, and it's nice. So that's the difference. You know, that's what an e-bike SUV is. It's just having that dual suspension, all-purpose. Use it for, you know, pretty much everything. And you know, is it part of it just a marketing thing? Yeah, maybe. I mean, dual suspension bikes have been around a while, and I haven't heard them called SUVs, but they want to call them SUVs. It really kind of adds a little ring to it, right? And kind of intriguing. So I think more than anything, it's just kind of gimmicky to get people to buy an SUV bike, when realistically, it's the only difference is that it's a dual suspension. But I'm not discounting that dual suspension because it's pretty cool to have. And here's a video that I'll be doing. It's going to be a few weeks before I do this one probably, but I'm going to do a comparison video for the two SUVs that I have, which is the Deer Mini and also the Zora Felix, because it's a dual suspension bike, so you know, it's considered an SUV. And the price difference is, you know, the Zora Felix is half the price that this one is. So yeah, the quality is still really good, but you know, there's some things that are missing on it that you don't get that you do get with this bike, and so there's definitely some differences there. But yeah, so we'll be doing that comparison because I think it's a great alternative, honestly. And based on, and that was just my thoughts initially, but then based on yesterday having Emma, Amanda, and Devin, you know, riding the bike and giving their feedback on it, they think it's a great bike too. So I think it's going to be one of those very good alternatives to the Deer Mini. You know, if you don't want to spend $2,500, that's a lot of coin. Then you know, consider something like the Felix for about $1,150. Good morning. All right, so one of the things I like about Magicycle is they give you a percentage on the battery. So I don't know how accurate that is. All the battery indicators have not been very accurate on most bikes. It gives you an idea, but not crazy accurate. But I like the fact that this one has a percentage instead of just a bar graph that leaves you guessing. So it says I've got 96% of my battery left, and we've gone 5 miles, 4.8 right now since we started. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I can't give too much away about this bike before I do the review, but another thing I really like is it just pedals good, and I can't explain it. It's hard to explain, I guess, but it just feels good in the pedal. It gives me a chance to you know, you're not just free spinning your the crank down there in order to get the bike to go. You can give a little to it, which gives you just the, you know, slight amount of exercise compared to just free spinning it. But yet it's just a really smooth crank, and I don't know, it feels considerably different than others. And this is only a cadence sensor, okay? This is not a torque sensor, but it just feels different, and I like it. Well, we're running out of sidewalk over there, so we're going to go around. Have to hit the street. That sun is starting to cook. It's about, about 9:15 or something? 9:20 in the morning, and it is starting to cook. A couple days this past week, we had heat indexes of 106. Yesterday, the temperature was 93, I think. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be today. But the humidity isn't too bad, so that helps a lot. Still up there, but not crazy high. But I'm starting to feel that sun cooking on me here, so I didn't put on sunscreen, and that was foolish of me. I didn't take my bike bag with me that I normally take. I just haven't put that on yet. Wasn't really sure where I was headed or how far I was going, so I've got nothing with me. And I do keep sunscreen in that bag, so I've always got something with me, but not today. Not today. So I think I mentioned this in the unboxing video, if you saw it. One thing I'm going to have to do is, because I am a taller rider, they say this bike is good for people up to 6'2", I think. And I'm 6'1", right? So I'm pushing the envelope. But I can comfortably ride it. And with the exception that the handlebars are a little bit low, and it's the stem style that has the little rings, so you can lower it one or two. It's got 2 rings on it, so you can lower it just a little bit if you ever needed to, but you can't raise it. So I'm going to replace the handlebar stem and raise this thing up, 3 or 4 inches, just to make it a little bit taller, so it's a more comfortable ride. And then of course, putting on the mirrors and those sorts of things. That's all I'll do to this bike. Another thing I like about this, and this is kind of rare, you don't see this in too many bikes, but I had it with the mock wheel bites, and that is you can reach top speed just on throttle only. And technically, I believe the law is that bikes are only supposed to go 20 miles per hour on throttle. That's the law. But then for those class 3 bikes that go 23 or goes up to 28 miles an hour, that's only on pedal assist. I'll wait for this truck, and then I'm going to shoot across. This is a quiet road. So, and that's one of the things that I was disappointed about the Haybike Ranger when I got it, and I put out quite a few videos on that, because they were advertising it, the way they had it worded, it sounded like it was going to go 28 miles per hour top speed, throttle, whatever, but it doesn't. It only goes 20 miles per hour top speed on throttle, which technically is the law. So, or at least it's my understanding and interpretation of the law. So that kind of explains why there's not too many manufacturers out there that are doing things differently. Now the law also here in the States is 750 watt for a motor is as far as you can go. But, we've got manufacturers out there that have 1,000 watt motors, and they're getting away with it. But anyway, I am happy that I can go full throttle on this thing and just go. One of the things we noticed yesterday, though, when you do that, when you really get this thing wound up, the motor gets pretty loud, and I don't know if that's going to quieten down with time or not. I hope so, because it is pretty wide. it is pretty loud when you get this thing wound up. That's number one. Number two, boy, it burns through the battery. Being a 52 volt motor, it really burns through the battery quick, and so it won't take time at all to, and you'll see that battery drop down 80, 70, 60, 50%. I think yesterday, just riding through the neighborhood, we were all having fun with it, and we were all, pushing the limits with it, but we dropped it down to like 50% battery in, I don't know, probably 2, 4, maybe 6 or 7 miles or so, because it's a 1 mile loop, and we all went around the loop a couple of times. We may have gone a little bit more than that. No, in fact, I know we did, because when I reset the trip odometer this morning, it said 9. So in 9 miles, we dropped the battery down close to 50%, but we were hauling it. We were sending it full throttle, just ripping through the neighborhood legally. We didn't exceed the speed limit. We weren't being unsafe, but we were pushing the envelope a little bit. So with that, if you're just going to do full throttle, full out, you're probably only going to get 15, 20 miles out of the bike. But cruising around in pedal assist 3, with using the pedal, yeah, you'll get a lot more, of course. All right, guys, I'm feeling it. We're just going to zip on up here. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30 and a half. Whew. How about that? We hit 30 according to this, if it's accurate. Pretty sweet. Oh, I should have checked to see where my battery was before I started that, because of the battery down to 84% already, and we were just talking about that. Yeah, so this 52 volts, man, it really sucks the juice. But it's nice to know that it's there when you need it, and it clearly is. So I plan to, sometime real soon, I've got to coordinate with another rider, see who's going with me, but I'm going to take the Magicycle Deer, and I'm going to take the Zora Felix to Alafaya River State Park. If you've been on my channel, you know what that's about. That's where they have a lot of off-road riding, a lot of trail riding, and some of it can be really bumpy. Some of it is just really aggressive, black diamond. I don't know if I'll get confident enough to do something like that. We'll have to see, but I do want to get it out and just do some trail riding with it. So that's going to be coming up here sometime soon. Not before the review video, though. I'm going to get the review out first. All right, so here's the deal. I'm not sure how long we've been riding, 45 minutes or something maybe? I don't know, we've gone 8 miles. So I'm gonna go and probably edit this video and upload it maybe today. Maybe I can get it done today. So there won't be a whole lot of editing to this video. Might cut out 1 or 2 little parts, but it'll be a full video. Of course, if you're watching it, you already know that. But that's the plan. So that's going to be it for this one. So stick around, look for the full review. It'll be coming real soon. I'll see you in the next video.